Hey everyone, this is Jocelyn here, and today I'm in my Chinese apartment. Should I scoot back some? Today I'm in my Chinese apartment. Should I scoot back some more? Today I'm in my Chinese apartment. Why is my bun not showing? I want my bun to show. Today I'm going to be telling you guys a story time. Story time. It's Jocelyn here, and today I'm going to be telling y'all a story time. I recorded this story time while I was in Korea, but I looked sad, y'all. I was sad. I looked like a sad ass, a broke ass, depressed ass, just a bitch. I just looked a mess. And then I got these earmuffs on because so we're gonna keep this on. Well, it don't look that bad. It don't look that bad. Today is gonna be a story time. This story time is fresh, y'all. Like when I say it's fresh, it's piping hot. It's like, ooh, it's like hot. It's fresh. So this is a story time about how I got my heart broken in Korea by my Korean Oppa. He is not my Korean Oppa no more. He is some other woman's Korean Oppa because listen, honey, I'm just too hot to handle, you know. I'm just too much. But not in a good way, in a very, very bad way. Should I come closer to the camera? I don't like being this close to the camera. I don't know. I'm gonna come back here. I guess let's just jump right into it. Some background. I am a teacher. I work in China, and we recently had the Chinese New Year holiday, and so we got 5 days off, and I was like, oh yeah, party. So I decided to go to Korea because Korea and Japan were my number 2 and my number 1 choice. I don't know why I said it out of order. Japan and Korea were my top 2 choices to move to abroad, but China is just easier to move to. And I know what y'all thinking. I know what you're thinking. China? Communist China? China always into it with America China? China who the US owe $3 trillion to China? China who always lying on the internet China? China who got Google Block, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter? China? China with the concentration camps? China with the coronavirus? China? Yes, baby, China. China was way easier to get a job into. Also, might have to edit out those last 2 points because I want to keep my job in China. So yeah, China was way easier to get a job to. Literally, I applied, they hit me up. The actual, this video is just going too long. If you want to hear about my process, get into China and work into China, let me know in the comments and I'll make a video on it. I might make a video on it after this one. just saying, just in case you see me in the same outfit, just saying. I'm in Korea for this holiday, and I only wanted to stay for 5 days. I only thought I was going to stay for 5 days, but after the first day I thought, shit, I'm solo traveling, I don't have any friends here, because they was hollering, bro, like I want to meet some people. So I got on Tinder, and I was just like, hey, in Korea for a week, looking for friends, looking for people who want to hang out, people who want to go clubbing and go sightseeing and just like hang out with me. So people started swiping. A couple of people wasn't reading the bio, which was pissing me off. I met one person, and he was pretty cool, but he wasn't reading the bio. So we hung out that one time, and then he was like, oh, I'm busy, I have to work. And I'm just like, we ain't gonna do nothing, we ain't do nothing. And I'm just like, why you wasting my time, bruh? But he was hella cute. Y'all, time out. Korean men Korean men are so damn fine. Like, whew. Like, I got back to China and I'm swiping on Tinder, and I'm like, you know how when you move to a new location, like they still sprinkle in a couple of folks from the location you was just in? Baby, I get back to China and I'm swiping through Tinder and I'm like, since when Chinese man look this good? I'm like, no. Like, you can definitely tell the difference between Asians. As if you didn't know that. Sorry to burst your racist bubble. All Asians don't look alike, and not to say that there are ugly Chinese people or that Chinese people are uglier than Korean people, but y'all, let me tell y'all, the Korean men, like in China, rarely do I see a guy and I'm just like, rarely do I take a double take. But in Korea, I was double taking. I was like, ooh, they just look good. Guy number one was out, and there were a couple more people that I was matching with, but I could tell it wasn't really going anywhere. And I matched with this one guy, and he hit me up. He was like, Happy New Year. And I was like, a man of culture, Happy New Year. And we were just talking, and he was like, oh, so what are you doing here, blah blah blah. And I'm like, oh, I'm just visiting, da 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 da. And he's like, oh, I know, I read your bio. And I was like, we reading bios now, I like you already. And so he was like, yeah, what have you done so far, how long are you here? And at the time, I was only going to be in Korea for about 5 more days, maybe 4 or 5 more days. And I was like, oh, I haven't really done much. I did this. I plan on doing this. And he was like, oh, well, that's too bad. Here's some recommendations, yada, yada, yada. And so when he said that, I was like, oh, he don't want to hit me up no more. He said, oh, that's too bad. Here's some recommendations. Oh, I see. But no, let me get my iPad. Let me get the receipts. The receipts. Let me pull out these receipts. The receipts. Okay, so we were just talking. He was like, how do you like so far? And this was like day 3 of me being here, and I was like, oh, I'm liking it, it's cool, it's alright, I don't hate it. I lost my Discover Soul Pass because I'm stupid, and so I was like, oh, I lost my Discover Soul Pass, I really don't know what to do, I've been getting really lost, like it's all kind of overwhelming, but I'm having fun. And he was like, don't you have a guy? And I was like, I don't, but I'm looking for one. Hence my bio. And he was like, oh, well, what are you doing? We can get dinner tonight. And I was like, yeah. At the time, I was already at Han River, and because I was alone, I ordered some chicken and beer, but I didn't expect it to be like a big basket of chicken that you like share with multiple people. So I was stuffing my face with chicken, drinking beer, and he was like, hey, like, let's meet up for dinner. And I was like, thank God, because this was getting pretty depressing. Like, thank goodness. So we exchanged the WeChats, and I went to change, and as we're texting on WeChat, he's being really funny. I'm just like, oh, this guy is funny. Yeah, this guy, I like you, I like you. And so then we meet and we go have dinner. It's like super fun. And then he's like, do you want to go somewhere else? And I was like, sure. And so we go to this little Japanese restaurant, but it actually ain't Japanese, it's Korean, because don't know Japanese people own it. And I ain't had no Japanese food there. We just had some oysters, which I guess is kind of Japanese because I eat it at Ichiban back at home. And Ichiban is Japanese, but y'all get the point. Some more drinks, and we were eating oysters, and we were talking some more, and we were having such a good time. And before I knew it, it was like 1 or 2 in the morning. He was like, oh, are you ready to go? And I was like, yeah, I'm ready to go. And he's like, so how will you get home? And I was like, oh, well, the subway isn't running, so I'm probably just gonna walk home. And he was like, okay, it should be a long walk, but I think you can do it. And he starts pulling it up on the map. I'm like, boy, you can't take a hint. I was like, so where are you gonna go? And he was like, oh, I'm gonna go home too, blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, cool. And so I stop him. I said, I stop him. I said, you're really going home? Like, you don't want to take me home? Like, I thought we was gone. Because, like, I enjoyed dinner with you. I think you're cool. I think you're cute. Like, I had fun. Like, you don't want to go back to your place? Can't believe I'm putting this on YouTube. He was like, I really have a place to go back to. I usually stay at my office or at my parents' house. He was like, it's 2 in the morning. I can't exactly show up to my parents' house with a black girl at 2 in the morning. Like, I don't know how to explain that. And I was like, I don't know either. So maybe we won't go to your parents' house. Do y'all see how like giddy and happy I am telling this story? Like, oh, such good memories. Anyway, so he was like, actually, I do have a room. I'm moving out in 2 weeks. I'm moving out the week after next. If you wanna, then you can. Like, we can go there. It's really, really cold. I usually don't stay there, but it's still mine. So all my stuff is there. If you want to go there, we can. And I was like, of course I want to go. So we went to the convenience store, and then we went back to his apartment and just hung out at his apartment. Next afternoon, we went for lunch, and so we had black bean noodles for lunch, and then we went to a coffee shop, and we went to the coffee shop and had coffee, and we just talked some more, and it was really, really good, and I really enjoyed myself. Like earlier that day, I had a message from my school saying that Spring Festival was going to be postponed until the 2nd. Because of the virus, and they were like, oh, we're gonna postpone it until the 2nd of February. Y'all don't have to come home on the 30th. Y'all can come home on that Monday. So I'm like, okay, cool, a couple of more extra days in Korea, that'll be great. And so I was telling him about it at dinner, at lunch the next day, and he was like, oh, well, if you decide to stay, let me know. You can stay at my apartment. Like, I'm rarely there. You don't have to buy money for a new Airbnb, just stay at my apartment. And I was like, oh, baby, you about to make me scoop you up. You about to make me wife you. Like, you about to make me wife you up. I was like, okay, I'll let you know. So after coffee, we part, and like we're just texting casually. We're going about our day. I'm doing other things in Seoul. I'm hanging out, like having fun. Like I was still bummed out about my Seoul pass, but I found free stuff to do, and I'm just enjoying it. Later on the day after me and him met, I met up with someone else. And he was cool too. He was really sweet too, but I wasn't really feeling it. I texted him and I was like, hey, I think I am going to stay until the 2nd. I think I do want to stay. You don't have to, but if your place is still open, then I'll stay there. And he was like, perfect. Well, I'll see you tomorrow. And I was like, okay. I checked out of my Airbnb, and then I find his house, and it's so cold there. He tells me how to work the heat. I learned about like the hot water under the Korean floor. I heat up the apartment and then I leave. So I went to the art museum. I taught him about catfishing and everything. And so we had little inside jokes, and he was a catfish at the art museum, and I was sending him pictures, and he was like, oh, who's that pretty woman? And I was like, it looks like a tilapia. He's like, no, I think it's a catfish. And he's like, did that catfish get imported from China or America? And I'm like, this is 100% Chinese catfish. And he's like, wish it was Mississippi catfish. So like he's so cute. He was so cute. So like just like flirting. And so then he's like, what are you doing now? I used to at the art museum. And I was like, no, just walking around hanging out. He's like, do you want to meet for dinner around 7? And I was like, sure. Walk around a little bit more, and then I had to meet him for dinner. And he's like, oh, actually I'm running late. Can we go somewhere else? And I was like, yeah, that's fine. Like, I don't care. Like, it's cool. Another message. And he's like, actually my company is having a group dinner, and do you want to eat with them? Is it okay if we eat with them? Like, you want me to meet your co-workers, your boss, your friends at work? Like, and so we met, and he was like, oh, thank God you're a catfish today. You look so cute. Thank God you dressed cute today. And I was like, I know. And so we go in, and it's so awkward at first. Co-workers was just like, okay, I see you, boy. I see you. You got a little chocolate, a little dark meat, a little Rice Krispie treat with a little chocolate dip. I see you. A little vanilla wafer, except it's not vanilla, it's chocolate. Okay, I see you. A little beef brisket, a little African pot pie. I see you. And we're like joking around. Everyone else's English is okay, but not that great, but it's okay. We're having conversations. Everything's super nice. I met his boss. His boss was super nice and paid for dinner for everyone. We're drinking soju. I just had a great time at dinner. I just want to go for beer. And I was like, okay, well, I'll go. It's fine. It was nice meeting y'all. And he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, like, you said you and your friends were going to have beer. And he was like, no, like, I'm saying that because all of us are, like, we're all gonna go. Like, I'm telling you that that's the next location. Like, you're coming too. And I was just like, oh, marry me. And so me and his friends, we go to this really cool place, and we drink beer, we have pizza, all this cool stuff. I gave him that look, and then his friends saw me give him that look, and then he saw me give him that look, and his friends were like, okay, bye-bye, it's time to go. The next morning, we just kind of talked, and he was opening up a little bit about like past relationships and stuff like that. I was just like, I like this guy. He's really cool. And so some more days go by. The next day we had lunch together, and we went to another coffee shop, and it was super fun. We watched YouTube videos, and then he had to go to work. And then the next day is where things started going downhill. So Wednesday was the day that we went to dinner with his coworkers. Thursday I went to Namsan Tower by myself, and I was so lonely. And then Friday we had lunch, and then Saturday is when it all started to go downhill. She told me that we would have dinner on Saturday, and I said, okay, cool, perfect. And I went to the zoo, and I was having so much fun. I was enjoying myself. I hadn't heard from him all day, so I was a little like, ugh, but it was fine. I saw him at the zoo, y'all, with another girl. Except it wasn't him, but at the time I thought it was. It looked so simple, like the guy's body type, like his face, like the type of clothes he was wearing. It looked just like him. And I got so upset. I phoned my friend, and I was like, this bitch is at the zoo with another bitch. I saw the lookalike. He just so happened to text me, and he was like, can we postpone dinner until a little later, like 9? And so then I was super angry, because I was like, okay, he's sitting here taking this other girl to the zoo, trying to postpone dinner with me so he can take this other girl to the zoo. What kind of mess is that? And so I was like, yeah, cool, whatever. And so I finally made it back to the apartment, and I was sad and like pouty. And so I texted him and I was like, actually, we don't have to have dinner tonight. And he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, if you don't want to have dinner, if you already ate, we don't have to have dinner tonight. And he was like, well, yeah, I already ate actually, but I wanted to see you. I wanted to see you today. So where do you want to have dinner? And I was like, are you sure it's okay? And he was like, Jocelyn, where do you want to eat? Like here, we could go here, 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 here. Which one sounds most appealing? And so I told him, and he was like, okay, well, take this bus to this location. I'll meet you in an hour. And I was just like, ugh. You a real man. You're a real man. I was like, so how was your day? He was like, it was nice. It was all right. And I was like, so what did you do? And so he starts giving me the rundown. And I'm like, who did you do it with? And he's like, I told you I was at work, so my coworkers. And I was like, what did y'all do at work? Blah, 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 blah. And so I'm just like drilling him. And so finally I come clean and I'm like, I thought I saw you at the zoo with another girl. He busts out laughing. He's like, is that why you were drilling me? Is that why you were asking about my day? Is that why you were so concerned about me? And I was like, yes. And he was like, no, Jocelyn. And I was like, oh. And he was like, but was she cute? And I was like, yeah, she was cute. She was this little short, cute little Korean woman. And he was like, oh no. He was like, as much as I wish it was me, it wasn't me. And I was like, screw you. And so we had dinner some more. We had dinner and he walked me back to the apartment. And I was like, won't you come up? And he was like, I can't. And I was like, please, I really want you to. And then he was like, no, I really can't tonight, Jocelyn. And I'm like, but please. And he's like, no. And so he left and I went to the apartment and I'm in bed. Y'all,